at hashtag show.
That's right.
So chat me up.
That's right.
Send me some super chats. Buy my shirts.
Oh, and I'm Elle. I don't know, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
I'm Elle. Listen to my impersonation of Joe. Listen to my impersonation of Joe. There you go.
Yes, that sounds just like me.
I don't know.
You did such a good job.
I tried.
As you can tell, Joe is not here today.
Yeah. Oh wait. I don't know how that works. I don't know if he's flying, but like sitting down. That's Joe's thing. Like, shh. That's what he does, right? Like Joe, you haven't seen him where he goes like this or something. I don't. You guys don't know what's going on.
I know. I just know. Chat me up. But anyway,
literally do a half hour on just making fun of Joe, but we're not.
He does make fun of you. You went to that Nickelback concert.
Yes, I went to a Nickelback concert and all this stuff. Well, yeah, Joe isn't here. Well, you know why Joe isn't here?
Is he hungover?
No.
Oh, is he coming back from an interview?
Well, it wasn't an interview. He went on a particular type of adventure, a very special adventure. I think we have an image.
I have
to
some
show you
thoughts
exactly
percolating.
what adventure he went on. Now, I don't want to ruin anything for you. I just want to message the producer. I thought he was going to pull up an old picture. I thought you had one of the ones of him like City Slickers or Mission Impossible.
Or the one like, the Power Rangers are like, the selling one.
Anything. I was looking for any level of Photoshop that we could get on this huge budget that we have here at that hashtag show. But
anyway.
We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it yet. Maybe later, though. Who cares? We don't.
But welcome. This is the last Retro Ranger wrap-up for the year of 2018. And we have made it through Season 1, through Season 2, through Alien Rangers.
Alien Rangers. We're not even going to count that as a season. I'm sorry, guys. You know how we feel about it.
Yeah.
And now
we
we're
are
here.
in the core of Zeo now.
Yes.
And it is good.
Is it not the best season of Rangers you've watched?
I mean, it's really hard.
Say it. Get in the fight.
I really do like this season. I love the music. I love the Rangers. I love the outfits.
Man.
And I am really sad because I really did like early Mighty Morphin, but mostly with Zach, Trini, and and Jason.
True.
And I don't know. So it's hard. Mighty Morphin, Zeo, but Zeo's music for sure is probably the best.
Definitely.
Hands down. The costumes I think are amazing.
That's right. And you're right in so many ways. I'll quote one of the fans in the chat right now, Everett Sanchez, when he says "stronger than before." Yes, it's in the song. And the song is great. I love the music on it, and then I definitely love like that message too because they're stronger than they were before. It's a really good season. It's full of episodes that even when they happen to be fillers, they're episodes where they give us a little bit of something that's going to be important later.
Yeah, like in the episodes we're talking about today, like in Mean Screen, we get introduced to new characters.
I
love the new one that's in that episode. We get to see Raymond.
Oh, yes.
Who ends up being like the guy in the chair. And I love that. Like, if any of you have watched Spider-Man, we have Ned, or if you're a Kim Possible fan,
that's right.
Wade, the guy in the chair.
I mean, you have Oracle and Batman. You know, there's always someone at the desk.
And I hope he stays around.
Oh, man, I'm
Raymond,
excited.
I feel like, is going to be the homie.
Well, Raymond was very, very interesting because Raymond does a very special thing that I love to see in film, television, or anything, which is prevent hacking. Yes. And that's where you go with the crazy fingers. Yes. And you get on, oh no, something's going on. Tappity tap, 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 tappity tap, 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 tappity tap. All right, and I fixed it. I wanted to see if the keys he pressed said anything, and I kept watching it, and no, they don't. It's just, because he did F, T, something. It was like everywhere, and then he tapped an E out of nowhere. I don't know what was going on, but I love him because I just remember, like, in that time, during the 90s, dude, that was a thing where we just were getting ready to see the film Swordfish come out. Yeah. That was shortly after. And all of it is always where it's like, oh my god, everything, like, oh, they're routing me through Friendster, oh, watch out, like, all those jokes that everyone had. And no one
really... For you guys, I think all of you in the chat are way younger than our generation, but we grew up with like AOL chat rooms with AIM and like, you know.
Where websites actually looked like that.
They really did. They really did. And it's no joke. And they looked like that for a long time. And you had a dial-up connection, which was extremely slow. So the fact that they're already dealing with...
You're scaring them. You're scaring them already. There's like, you're giving them nightmares. Don't do that.
And I'm dating myself too.
They're like dial-up. It's like a horror film. You're like, gather around, kids. Yeah, gather around, kids. I'll share with you the sounds of internet. like
I know. Like, our stories aren't going to be like, hey, back in my day, I walked 10 miles in the snow both ways. Ours is like, we had dial-up connection. You don't understand. And that's going to be our old grandparent stories to our grandkids. And
you know how long it took me to download a picture?
yeah.
Depends on the size. It took 3 days. And you're like, what? Oh, God. Like, it
really did, though. And I love that. And I love how Power Rangers is bringing in this technology into these episodes because it is relevant. It's made for, like, you know, kind of young, like the tween age that's just discovering this.
Definitely. But it points out, like, something that I kind of said earlier, which is the theme where they're changing from the mystical to the technical. You know, it's like, okay, goodbye with the magic and always back into the tech.
Yeah.
And Zeo comes through strong with that.
Yes.
And we definitely know that for sure because who is our villain besides King Mondo? A giant working tech. Like, that's exactly what he is. I mean, and he's sentient. So it's like, oh, that goes beyond so many other things. And
oh, man, it's getting into some Black Mirror type of, like, theming right now.
Like, oh, God. But I was like, along with him, though, that was genius where he says, okay, I see the virus situation, which... Who's the person that says yes when everyone's telling you no? Why did she have to say, okay, I'll press yes for this
bless
message?
your heart, but it is one of those things, and I think she's just like...
10-year-old me knew not to do that. How did she not? What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, I've clicked a lot of things. I clicked the accept terms and conditions without reading them, and you know...
Well, who else does? Everyone does that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's kind of the same thing. Like, hey, do you want this? Sure. I mean, I guess I don't know better. Why not? And but see, the thing is, like, even viruses, like, when we were growing up, they weren't super prominent. There has been some massive viruses for computers that have come up, but I feel like they're making it so much. Maybe because we have not ad blocker, but virusware and like the Norton whatever. It's not a big deal.
It was just so weird the way it was like, do you want to accept the virus? Essentially, and she was like, yes, even though Raymond was advising her right behind her.
Don't do that.
Oh, don't do that. No, that's bad. That could be how you get a yes virus. And then, you know, he had to, like, go ahead and do all the hacking stuff. That was just hilarious to me. But I love how Mondo immediately sees exactly where there will be the weakness of the week, which is, hey, all of technology is covered around Angel Grove. Let's go ahead and mess with the technology. That was very smart.
I thought so too, and I feel
like
like
terrorism.
It's still relevant in today's world too. That if a monster, this was an updated Power Rangers episode, it would be the same exact thing of like, let's send a virus and let's mess up everybody. Like the ATM was spitting out money all over the place.
Well, funny enough, Beast Morphers is where they have to like fight against like a kind of like techno kind of bad guy. So that's like, oh, that makes sense.
We will get there maybe in like 3 years.
I gotta say right off the bat, Blackwing mentioned something that I definitely wanted to mention, which was like he says, this came into mind. Does Mondo know what they're doing 24/7?
That is a good question.
It feels like he does.
It kind of does. And he knows. Does he know this Power Ranger's secret identities like Rita and Zed?
Yeah. Because remember, he was watching them close to the end of the episode when they're talking to Billy, and he's like, "What we should do," which dovetails to the next episode. But he was like, what we should do is go ahead and ruin Billy's mode of transportation to get in. He's peering right into the command center now. And he knows what they're doing, so he knows exactly who they are, and he knows who they are. Well, of course he knows who they are outside of their thing, because he's the one that got the idea for the virus after he saw Aisha dealing with the virus. Whatever her name, Tanya, dealing with the virus. So, I mean, yeah, he definitely does.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I keep saying Aisha.
I do too, I'm sorry.
Man, thanks for correcting me on that. I mean, Tanya.
Yeah, bad moves by Tanya, exactly.
It really is.
Yeah, it was horrible. Now, for this episode, I've got to say, there have to be moments for you that you saw and you were like, okay, I need to be able to discuss this. If it was just weird or interesting to you, what's the big moment for you?
I mean, like, the big thing, we kind of talked about it was, like, I want Raymond, who, if you watch Lost, looks like a very young Hurley to me.
Yep.
And to be this computer master, the guy behind the chair, because obviously Zordon doesn't have control over anything and doesn't watch, the moon at all and doesn't know anything that's going on until it's actually happening. And Alpha malfunctions when you put a CD in his back. Where I feel like...
Alpha malfunctions at, like, the drop of a dime. Honestly, they're like, hey, Alpha... oh God, I can't. You're like, what? I don't. You're not organic.
Yeah, and so I like the idea of bringing in someone from the high school that is at the high school who might be in on the Rangers' secret in the future, because Adam obviously trusts him enough to come back down. And he was like, hey, I heard you're really good at computers. We have an issue. I need you to help us save Angel Grove.
Yeah.
So Raymond, without any question, is like, I can do this for you. And he's confident, trustworthy in this particular area. And
yeah, well, I mean,
as you're talking about technology as being kind of always going back, I feel like Raymond can be a really good ally for the Rangers.
Raymond definitely can be a great team member, or at least an ally, like you said, for the team. And I would like to see what happens next. I've tried to make sure not to go
too
far.
far.
Because we're getting to territory where I barely watched at moments, and then I would just every once in a while watch. So, because some of the episodes were airing like on weird, obscure dates. Like, oh, okay, here it's a new episode on Monday, and then here goes one on Wednesday, and then nothing after that, and then next week, Thursday and Friday, new episodes. What?
See, that's why Netflix is amazing, and you can watch all the Power Rangers episodes. I think it's super fun.
I do love it, even though this isn't a full-on promo for them.
Right,
yes, you can, and that's the great thing about it, because it's like it's still on demand, which another thing that's on demand is our website. That#show.com.
Yeah, if you're already caught up on all the Power Ranger episodes and you want more Power Ranger news, be sure to check out our website at that#show.com. We have a lot of new articles and a lot of new people writing for us. It's super exciting.
So many articles. We actually have one coming up concerning the Phantom Ranger in a view in which you're not going to really believe until you read the article. It makes so much sense. It's going to be a really great article, written by our very own Toku Kid.
Awesome.
And the cool thing about it is Toku Kid was indeed a fan, watched just like you guys. And immediately he started to submit things and do things to become part of the team.
And now he's here in our studio.
Exactly.
He's right there.
Toku!
Hi.
See, there you go. You hear him in the background, guys. So you guys can also do the same exact thing, but all you have to do is be able to submit some work over to us. What's our email address that we usually use? Are we going to use the fan theories still, or do we do fan questions? I think it's fan theories at THS, or the...
That#show.com.
Yes.
Fan theories at that.
Oh, THS at that#show.com.
We have a lot of ways that you can contact us.
Exactly.
You can go to Facebook at THS Hashtaggers. You can email us. You can chat us up. Like Super Chat, Mr. Ray over here.
Boom, which
says,
I love.
Hey, Elle. Sup, Daniel?
Hey!
What up?
Thank you for the love. We appreciate it, and we're showing it right back to you. That's why
And
we're
thanks
here.
for all those articles.
Exactly.
They're
Man,
doing
you
really
were
well.
killing it, man. You were doing really good. He made me have to come out of retirement. That's why I started writing more stuff.
Oh, man.
Just because I was like, I saw him, and I was like, dude, what am I doing? Why am I not doing anything?
Right.
So, I started to write a little bit too. But you guys can definitely do that, do your part, and write for us to go ahead and get more info out. Maybe there's something you know more about than anyone else. Go ahead and do it. Just write and send it over to us at THS at that#show.com. But
yeah,
back to the show.
The other thing that was really crazy that I felt like kind of came out of left field for me, like I had the sense that Billy was going to be on a sabbatical with the for a while, and already at the end of this episode, he was like, "I'm ready to come home, guys." And I'm like, "Oh, welcome home, Billy."
Right? I was like, "Dude, we expect you gone for a while."
I thought that was super crazy. I did not expect that. The episode didn't really lead up to that whatsoever. But I was excited to see Billy come back.
Apparently there was a political uprising or something.
He was done. He was able to fix it.
Yeah, but he was able to fix it so there wasn't a political... But they're really going through some stuff over there on that planet.
Yeah.
And here comes Billy being able to fix it just like a Jimmy Carter. And he just walked through and made sure everyone was okay.
Yeah,
oh my god!
I don't know. It was great, but I mean, I love Billy. I like that he's coming back, and I also like that it was King Mondo that's like, hey, we can mess with them now. Their friend is coming back. We can intercept them, and it leaves you on this really kind of suspenseful cliffhanger that I enjoyed.
I love that
without being a 2-part episode.
We're becoming very serial instead of very episodic. So it's not one. It's hey, we have an overarching story.
Yeah, and I feel like they are trying to pull in regular viewers at because you were saying like it airs on a bunch of different dates, different times. They move the schedule around, and some sort of reason to come back the next time it airs and to watch these episodes, which is smart.
And this is once again pointing back to something that we noticed and we started to discuss on the first episode, which is that they're changing their storytelling. And this is the point in Power Ranger history where you're starting to see the show realize it has to grow with the audience and do that 5-year arc, and then or 3, and then it became 2, and then it became nothing again. But that whole thing where it's like we're giving an arc where we're going to grow up to this age point and be able to tell a story, and then reboot. And I wish they would still do that now. Honestly,
I feel there's a chance. There's a
to
chance to kind of get into that, I feel like.
Definitely. But right into this episode, after breaking into that, this episode didn't have too much to cover. It was, we got the King Mondo situation. We had a virus.
I did like one little line in there, and it was for Tanya, where she was like, hey, I have to go because I'm going to learn some new, like, katas from, like, Tommy. And it's like that she's still trying to learn martial arts, that she came here, and she's actively trying to be better. And I feel like, man, if Aisha just had an ounce of the characterization that Tanya has, she would have been a better and more compelling character.
This is so funny because this is the third time you've mentioned this
Yeah.
on this entire show.
Yeah.
This is the third episode. It is something that now rings true even more than ever on this episode, too.
And it sucks
Really?
it's really good, and it's just small little things that they're throwing in there. And you know, we talked about, and Joe talked about, like, the world building and bringing these characters in and making them kind of more human and more, I don't know, like,
more
complex.
relatable, and that's it. Yeah, complex, because the thing is, we're tired of these one-dimensional characters.
Yes.
When we can give them so much more, and they were figuring out, well, let's do that. Here goes. And it's such a shame that they really started it like, okay, we're giving them relationships. We're doing this, we're doing that, where sometimes there could have been interdating that probably would have been fine at the time, but whatever. All these things that they're doing just to make the characters, like you said, far more complex. And I loved it. It was meaty. It was a great part. It was just good stuff. And it just keeps growing.
Yeah, and I really like that. So I guess, I mean, errors in this episode, there actually weren't that many. There's only one. And
oh boy.
The way the computer virus that Tanya found was found what? Wait, what?
Oh, yeah, we will actually.
Sorry, Joe is the one that usually runs this, and we were just kind of talking off whatever we want.
Well,
but
we do
how
need
many?
Actually, yeah, because we do need to score it. We need to give scores. So we definitely want to know what your scores are concerning at least this episode. And while we are waiting for you guys to deliberate and figure out exactly what those scores are, we're going to give you what those errors are. And that's what you said earlier, which was the way Tanya found, Tanya found or was cured from the virus was in no way a realistic depiction of how it would work in real life. When it came to, she found the virus, she accepted the virus, all of these steps.
Just unplug it.
Yeah.
Or, hey, I will reroute it back by doing a lot of cookies.
No way that's happening.
No.
He did not. I'm going to reroute the virus back to. It's not a boomerang, my dude. It doesn't work that way.
But whatever. I still feel like this episode is better than the screensavers and hackers. I'm dating myself again, but if we ever see that movie, man, you will laugh. You will have a good time watching Hackers.
I loved how current the villain was at the time, too. And he was like, I'm glad that I downloaded a backup of myself. I did that.
That was actually brilliant.
He was giving me so much, like, tech knowledge that I was just like, wow,
and it's believable. I liked it.
He's like, I'm glad I backed myself up, and then even Mondo had to give it to him. Like, this must be the smartest monster we've ever made.
Except for he was still defeated, but they were definitely on the right track. You know,
getting there. I loved it, but. Honestly, if I could just like go over it and figure out exactly where I was like. Where I felt I was on the episode, it's going to take me a little time to really just give a full answer, but what I want to know is at least what theirs were. And we got some answers right now. We got JohnBoy777, who gives it a 3.9.
Ooh, that's really close to 4. We're going to say that's 4.
And that's good. So, yeah. Mr. Ray gives it a 3.5. Let me see. What else we have? Mikey Perez.
I'm a bear.
Yeah, likes the hat, right? Mikey Perez gives it a 3.5. Larry's saying hello to Robin. Larry, what's wrong with you, man? Where are you? We're asking for scores.
He's right there.
Larry, you give me scores, Larry. No, I'm just messing with Larry. I love him. Edward Sanchez Productions gives it a 4 out of 5.
That's cool.
That's not bad. Common Sentai gives it 3.8. Robin Chan, 3.5. Clayton Kaufman, 2 out of 5. Funny K Comics, 4 out of 5 for Mean Screen. And Blackwing, 4 out of 5. The plan of using technology against the Rangers was smart. Wish Rita and Zed came up with that themselves. know.
Yeah.
Very true. They're old school, man. I mean, they're like thousands of years old. I doubt they even know what a computer is. So it's fine. You know, it happens that way. You're going to expect your grandma to have a, I'm going to think of a plan. It's not going to happen. She can't even set her VCR. And the problem is she still has one. That's an issue. Rose Ortiz gives it a 4 out of 5. So it looks like it's doing pretty well.
Yeah,
and Blackwing, that email address once again was ths@show.com.
Thanks,
they
Robin
already
Chan.
actually answered it.
Yeah, we got
perfect. Blur gives it a what? Forgot to rewatch Tired of Spider-Man PS4. Out of 5.
Man, that Spider-Man game looks so good, though.
Oh my god, it's so
but
good.
that's a conversation for
for
later tonight,
maybe,
probably.
Yeah, exactly. But what do you give the episode?
I don't know. This one was it was a fun episode. I like that Billy came back. It gave me the suspense. It gave me a little bit of characterization. I like that Adam came back and was like, "Hey, we're not equipped for this. Billy is gone, but I know someone who can be just as good." And I like that kind of resourcefulness in his thinking. So I want to give it. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. The rest of it was pretty average, but it gave me enough to give it a higher score.
Nice. Well, for today, when it comes to Power Rangers, I'm done with the 0.5s. I'm giving it a hard score of 3.
Wow.
That's right.
I know you don't like those decimals. I will accept your decimals.
That's right. I just said I'm gonna get rid of decimals today and just give it a 3. Solid on. It wasn't too great. It wasn't too bad. It was still entertaining in a way. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say, it was horrible. Give it a 3. It can work a little bit higher and get to a 4 and a 5. Moving on to it, we do have some notes from the episode.
Yeah.
This, of course, as we all said and mentioned, this was the first appearance of Raymond. He appears next in the Small Problem episode.
Interesting.
So,
I hope he has the same kind of, job for the Rangers.
Raymond does help. Again, you'll see him again. Next note, Billy announces to the Power Rangers at the power chamber on the video phone that he is coming home to Earth at the end of the episode.
Yes.
The footage used would later be recycled for Rangers of Two Worlds, Part 1 and 2.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
They do like reusing footage, and I feel like that's very economically friendly.
And I think when they use it, the way they did the whole video thing, he kind of looked like Zordon anyway, so they're like, you can't really tell.
Because he's in space, and it's a video screen, and I thought it was pretty good.
Once again, it will be like, okay, yeah, we can use that. We don't know what he's saying. He looks like Max Headroom. Last note, well, we got a few other things, but last note is a similar plot from this episode would later be used in the Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel episode, Tech Support.
Oh, interesting.
I don't acknowledge that series. So,
okay.
I've never seen this plot anywhere else. It's only been in one place, in my opinion.
For me, too. Because I have not seen that series, so I will back you up on that
you're
statement.
Welcome. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure we will be proved wrong in like 4 years when we get to that season.
Oh, that was going to take more than 4 years? Well, no, actually, no. You're right.
We got through quite a lot in this year, I feel like.
That's true. That's very true. In that time frame, I think maybe in 4 years, it would be interesting if we got up to that point. I would love it.
I'm really excited, and I don't know if I'm too hyped up for Zeo, because obviously you guys did talk a lot about it, and I absolutely love it. So I'm a little disappointed to hear that some series are a little lackluster. But I feel like talking about it with you guys and you guys at home, it actually makes me enjoy the episodes a lot more.
Oh, heck yeah.
Like, things that I didn't like or things that I thought were dumb, and we're talking about it and you guys are commenting on it, I think it makes it kind of funny, and that's why we do this show, is to kind of communicate, to build the fandom, and to, I don't know, it just makes it so much better.
It does, because we connect in a way that a lot of times we weren't able to, and that's what makes it a whole lot better for me, at least in my opinion, and I love being able to discuss it over and over and over.
Right? And if you want to discuss more things, remember, you can super chat us. Mr. Ray.
That's right. Mr. Ray comes through and saves everyone. So
it really does.
Now, going into it, we want to talk about the next episode.
Which that episode kind of directly led into this next one, which is Mr. Billy's Wild Ride.
Yes.
Which I thought was kind of a play on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And it was not really. I mean, it did get really hot and fiery.
Yeah, it's close enough to hell. That's close, you know? I mean, sun, fire.
Yeah.
Whatever, it comes close.
Jared Hodges. Just wait till we get to the Disney era Power Rangers. Is it going to be great?
Yeah, like, you're saying it that way. I'm like, do you mean that it's because it's good? Because
I do love Disney. I love Disney. It's gonna be magical.
Well, yeah, it's good.
Everyone's shaking their heads, but I think it's gonna be great.
All right, for Hope. Poor girl. So, the next episode.
We know that Billy is coming back from Aquitar, and he completed his mission, and instead of teleporting like they did in all the other episodes, he's got to take a spaceship back to Earth.
I don't understand. Well, because you know what? He's not part of the morphing grid, so that may be part of the reason why he wasn't able to really withstand the teleportation, because that could be it. I'm thinking, the other ones were on the morphing grid. Billy is now removed from it, and maybe that's why.
And well, he had to take the spaceship there because he only had a 2-hour window to get there for one reason or another.
Which made no sense to me, because I'm like, with a 2-hour window, why can't we just go ahead and teleport you? It means you'll be instantaneously out there. That's much quicker than the ship that takes probably about an hour or two to get there.
It's a lot less suspenseful, and Billy won't have his wild ride if we did it that way.
Facts. So moving on, now that we do know the reason why we needed Billy inside of the ship, which is a plot device.
But I was actually really compelled by this because I really was worried for Billy because it did seem like he was going to leave, and I thought for a moment they might kill him off.
Right.
I was actually legitimately worried, and I was like, no, Billy, you can't die.
Right on screen! Like, he's like, oh no, I'm getting too close to the sun.
It wasn't that like first he was getting really cold, and like, yeah, they were losing this, and then... I don't know. It was a weird thing, and I think I felt the suspense more because it was a very limited like filming locations. Like they didn't really have. It was in the spaceship and it was in the command center, so you kind of have like this back and forth conversation between the Rangers and him, and it's just like worried, like, hey, you're coming home. Oh, you're not coming home. Oh, you got blasted out. Oh, it's so cold.
It's so cold.
Hey guys, that was really hot.
Yeah, guys. I didn't mean the heat to be turned up this way. And yeah, that was horrible.
But it's good. I like the lighting. I thought everything was pretty good with what they worked with. But
definitely. I enjoyed this episode a lot because I thought for a moment, I was like, oh, we're really not going to see a monster or anything. Like, it's just
I thought so too. They brought it in towards the later half.
They're like, we're going to give you a little bit of action still, but it was compelling. It was actually like interesting. I was kind of drawn in, like, oh my god. There is so much suspense.
Yeah.
Billy could die today. And I was like, wait, I know what happens, but I don't. I don't
really know. Like, I know you guys talk about him getting married and doing all this other stuff, but I'm like, you guys lie to me all the time. So I believe everything you guys say. So, I mean, I really thought he could
Billy's kid, it's like, that's one of the weirdest moments. When you get to see that later.
Oh,
dude,
that is weird.
Oh, boy. Because he gets, it's like, oh, that's Billy's kid. Wait, so... Okay, all right. Okay.
Half alien, half human.
Oh boy, it's horrible. No, I'm playing.
Kind of like that 1996 Doctor Who episode. If you want to see that next week, or if you want to see that later tonight, we will be talking Doctor Who at 7 o'clock.
Oh my God, that's right. Last week you guys did talk about the best Doctor Who special to possibly ever hit the airwaves.
I don't know if it was the best, I gotta be honest, but it's all right. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's as great as what we have now, but we will talk about maybe some of that at 7 o'clock.
You know what? I'm just kind of stuck on nostalgia, I guess. I'm just like some of the Power Ranger fans when they say, like, Mighty Morphin's the best and blah, blah.
But this Turbo was great. And, like, kind of nostalgia, like, talking about that. Like, parts of this when Tommy and all of them are in the warehouse and they're trying to get a fuel cell because, Billy's been blasted off and they used all their energy and for some reason they can't recharge anything that they own.
Nope.
That they have to go get this fuel cell from the warehouse. Mm-hmm. And I felt like it felt really like a SNES kind of video game when it's, like, directing Billy and they're trying to get the fuel cell and they're going through like fiery monsters and stuff. And I was like, hey,
actually, that would have been dope if they actually did convert that into a game. That
like
would be cool.
This felt like a video game kind of sequence to me, and it had that old kind of retro thing, and they get blasted out of the windows for no. Whoa! Is that Michaela? No, I can't say.
Mikhail Maniac?
Correct us. You don't have to super chat us, but tell us how to pronounce.
Yeah, like phonetically kind of read it out.
Because we don't know how to read. It's hard.
We're sorry. It's graduation was hard.
The very first Retro Ranger wrap-up of 2018 was Doomsday on January 7th. So that was like the first, that was season 1 of Mighty Morphin, I believe.
Seed of Evil on January 7th.
Ooh, how fun.
Wow.
So yeah, we got through season 1, season 2, Alien Rangers, and we are... I don't know how many episodes into Zeo, but
we've done a retro, so we've been doing retro for a year, and we're up to there right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we will get to Disney era, hopefully.
Ooh.
Eventually. Not hopefully.
Wow.
Eventually.
We should do like an anniversary thing, like on our January episode.
Oh,
like,
right.
Oh, happy anniversary or something like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, we can do that. Wow, thank you very much. My gosh, I didn't know that. Call me the Maniac.
I like that.
Call me the Maniac.
The Maniac.
Shout out to Maniac. Pop, pop, because I love it. Thank you very much for saving us. Oh, my God. That is true, but I didn't know that. Like, that's our first episode.
Yeah.
Wow. See, this is
I feel like we just did a time jump backwards.
Yes.
I like that. Thanks so much for that super chat. That makes
We
us super
appreciate it.
happy.
We definitely appreciate it. But, okay, so, on this episode itself, the thing that I really love the most, like you said, was the team having to work together.
Wait, Miss Halka. Miss Halka?
Miss Halka. Oh.
I never actually watched Ellie and AJ, but I know it was a really popuit show.
Yeah, Ellie and AJ actually was pretty good.
I'm sorry,
Edward
what were you
Sanchez
saying?
knows what it is. I love that show. All right, moving on. It just, this episode was interesting on so many levels because we were dealing with 2 locations.
Yes.
And both locations were just like against the clock. And I love it how Tommy was just like, you know what, F it, I will sacrifice myself any way I have to make sure that Billy gets home. And that, once again, is a sign of a leader.
It
He
is,
says,
and I feel like
I will
because
give myself. Yeah, I love
Tommy
it.
is usually the one that is in danger, and the other Rangers have to come and help him. So I think he knows what it feels like to be alone, to not really be in control of your circumstances. But also, Tommy, as brave as he is to try to move the satellite dish to get Billy, and the Machine Empire is sending down their flying beasties shooting at him, everyone else is just in the command center doing nothing. I feel like they did not want Billy back home.
I said the same thing, but then I said to myself, what were they going to do?
Well, they could have morphed and at least try to protect Tommy as he's trying to get
I think
the
at that
disc.
moment they were having an issue where they could morph, right? Wasn't that the issue? Because if so, Tommy would have morphed and then went up there and...
No, he just
right?
had to turn it, though. He didn't need to morph to, like, turn the satellite
Well, but you know,
thing.
they're all flying and shooting everything. You want to be morphed so this way you don't just die. Like, you know, he almost did. Well, maybe you're right then. Still. Well, now it's poo-poo on both of them. Tommy is over here with a death wish. I can do it. I'll
He's
save
like
the world.
manually moving the satellite
They're
that's
shooting,
super huge, and
they're like
he's gonna
shooting
get
at
the
him.
exact trajectory to get Billy, and you can't be. It has to be exact.
Yes.
Like Zordon specifically says.
If it has to happen in 10 seconds, if it doesn't, everyone's dead, and
Yes.
it's all your fault, Tommy. He said almost those exact words.
Yes.
Pretty much. I just remember the 10-second window, and I was like, how does Zordon know that it's 10 seconds and not 7 or 9?
He's
How
a
is it
floating
10?
head and knows everything,
Well,
but
that's the
doesn't want
thing.
to share his secrets with anybody.
I was just going to say, that's something that you pointed out. He never likes to share his secrets.
No.
So I don't know how he knew. Oh, wow. Wow. Black Gamer Guy 17. Shout out. I know exactly who you are. You should check out his YouTube channel. He does some great game stuff. He says, I kind of didn't like Tommy as Red. He felt extremely less powerful. Back when he was the White Ranger, he used the fight monsters all solo all the time. Now in Zeo, he always needs the team.
That is actually really a good point because. But I feel like in Power Rangers in general, like, we kind of have these inconsistencies where sometimes the Megazord is like swipe and it's like you exploded, and sometimes it's like, dude, that's not even a great monster and you got like punched for like a good 5 minutes. So
Or just just a repeating scene.
But yeah, Tommy was always kind of like the loner, like as a Green Ranger being evil and, you know, coming back and then being the White Ranger and being like, hey, I'm the suddenly new leader of the team. But I feel like him working as a team benefits him. It makes him feel more inclusive. I feel like his connections to the other Rangers are stronger. He's more invested in their safety and they're more invested in his.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, God, they're starting to debate again.
All right.
They're starting to debate already. Tommy is a great leader. And then that's where someone else says, oh, but Tommy stepped up as a leader in this episode. And then here comes, like we just read the comment there. And now it's Tommy, Jason, Tommy, Jason. Tommy.
Oh, man, it really
Tommy
is.
or Jason. That's interesting. I've got to ask you because that's really a good conversation everyone has all the time. And we know we've already discussed this, but I'm asking you. Tommy
Between Tommy and Jason, I always have to pick Tommy. I do think he's proving himself, especially in Zeo, that he can be a good leader. But man, Billy, as like the mastermind behind everything, he is good with technology. He is incredibly smart. He knows about space and physics and science and all of that. That I kind of feel like Billy should have been Zordon. He
No,
should
dude,
have
no, but
let
Billy
Zordon
also-
break apart and left Alpha in a box in the back. And Billy should have stepped up and been like the actual leader behind the curtain.
Oh, well, not behind the curtain. We need him to stand on a stage and wear his little turtleneck
And present his new
glasses.
project.
He'll be, well, guys,
For
today...
$1,000,
Yeah,
you can get the upgraded.
He sells all the weapons and stuff to the Rangers. They can't just get it on their own. They're like, oh no, we're dying, Billy. What can we do? I bring to you. And he does that whole thing
accept
where he
these
does-
terms and conditions, and they're like slowly signing away the souls so he can like collect them for Aquitar, and then when he goes back, he's like
yes.
King Regent or something.
Aquitar is now perfect. Yeah, that would be hilarious. I would love to see that. And he presents everything just like that and blah, blah, blah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
feel like Billy is probably more competent to be a kind of like behind the scenes leader. Like Tommy does have the bravery, the strength, and everything else to go out.
Right.
But I feel like he is a little lost without Billy, or without
Well, that's the
someone
thing,
smart
okay.
behind. Like without Adam or Billy there, like Tommy's team wouldn't do very well.
Truth of the matter is, I'm going to say it. Tommy is, if we want to run it that way, Tommy is Batman. Batman's smart. He's a genius. He can do things in the
Detective
field, blah,
stuff,
blah,
yeah.
yada, yada. But he still needs an Oracle. He still needs someone that's able to do this and do that.
No,
and
he
that.
needs an Alfred.
Tommy-
Batman needs an Alfred, and
But
I feel
Tommy's
like
not as smart as Batman in that way, as far as, like he's a detective. Well, Tommy's an idiot. But no. Tommy's actually great. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
And when it comes to being a leader, yes, he does know what to do. He stepped up on this episode to actually show it. Sacrificing himself in a way to make sure that someone else who... Let's be honest, guys. He's not really part of the team. That guy,
That's true.
it brings
He
him
wasn't for a
down.
long time.
He's, know what I mean? It just Tommy understands what it is to be a leader, and we're seeing him grow in every step of the way during this moment here. No, Tommy's
Tommy
not
is not
Batman.
Bat.
He's not Batman. No, I
He's-
know.
he
I was
is
just
not
saying
even
it.
clo-
I was just saying it. He's not even close because he's not. When you think, not even close. But I still do pick Tommy over Jason. I don't like a guy who just runs around yelling and he's always sleeveless. I'm not a fan. It's not my thing.
although we're gonna diverge, it still deals with Power Rangers. But I read the first issue of Coco Power Rangers.
Oh yes, yes.
And I absolutely love Jason. I feel like, man,
Oh my
if we were
God.
talking about comics, I don't know. I didn't get to Tommy yet, but I just started it. I'm gonna
Jason
try to
in
get
the
into
comic
it.
is so good.
Like in
I
the
love
first
the
couple
moments-
pages, I was already like, "Oh, my
Yeah,
baby
but
Jason!
wait,
I love
on
him
that
so
one,
much."
did you see it? Was it
That he
he
used
was
to-
with his father and he gave time to the charity thing or whatever?
No,
What was
the
it?
very first issue was what he was talking about. Like he used to be a bully, and that's why he wants to be
wants
good
to- oh,
now.
yeah,
and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love that kind of development. So there is hope for Jason, at least in the comic era. But as far as the Power Rangers show, I gotta go with Tommy. And
Billy
for
is
those of you
Batman.
defending Jason, I want to know what is your reason why Jason is a better leader or why Tommy is a better leader, and if you could send that in to THS
Yes,
fan
oh my
theories.
God, I would love that. I want that as THS fan theories.
Of
Yeah,
why you think
that's right.
either Jason or Tommy is the better leader of the Power Rangers, and give us
be
a
good.
little article why, and we'll get it
Yeah.
published on that
Yeah,
#show.com.
give us a breakdown and actually tell us exactly why you think, well, okay, Jason is better than Tommy or vice versa.
Yeah, and I think maybe
I
we
want
should
some pros
pick,
and cons.
I think we should pick the best for each. We will maybe
Ooh.
publish one for Tommy and one for
One for
Jason,
Jason.
just so the public can decide. And with your thumbs up, and when you go to that #show.com,
That's right.
you can decide which article you like the best.
Oh yeah, well let's even vote for it.
Fight
oh,
it
God,
out.
That
We're
would be
gonna
good.
fight it out.
So right over there at THS, at that
2019, you're gonna
show.
duke it out with this.
It's happening right here. Oh, Power! Like you're just doing that whole
Sunday,
thing.
Sunday.
Sunday. So
My voice
that's right,
doesn't- My voice
THS.
doesn't go low, but I will try to be epic. So anyway, if you could send that in, if you are a Tommy supporter, 100%, we want to see that article. If you are a Jason supporter, 100%, we want to see that article. Go ahead and
Yes.
submit them in
Yes.
to THS at that #show.com.
Boom, that's right. And Jonathan, I'm looking at you right now when I tell you you're not backing out of this conversation. You're in this argument. I want you, as far as doing something, I want you writing something. Blackwing, you are the man. Show us, write it. I want to see something.
Ooh, Mr. Moth, greetings from Germany.
Oh, who?
We are Moreau?
Oh, Mr. Moreau. Greetings from Germany. Hello. What's a German greeting? Anyone know of a German greeting? I'm sorry, I don't, and I'm not going to play around like I do. Nope.
We were actually talking German earlier.
Well, I only know one
We're not
word in
going to
German.
talk about it. Our producer says, no, we are not allowed.
We are not allowed to. No, we're not. I know one word in German, and it's Umschlagbehetzer. I said it on air. I'm fired, guys. But no, it means file folder. That's all it means. It just means file folder. That's all. That's the only one I know. I'm not submitting that article. You will.
Well, someone else submit an article, and we will get it published on that #show.com.
Yeah, that's right. So, rounding up this episode, were there any parts that really stuck out to you before we get into like some errors and ask, of course, for the votes?
I guess that Billy made it back so soon, and he has already adjusted, and I hope his parents welcome him back from the alien planet. I don't know why more people aren't excited to see him.
True.
And it was a little weird seeing him at the juice bar. Like, I get that the juice bar is mostly for the high school students, but we found out that Billy had already graduated. Is it weird to be like the graduating guy hanging out at the high school? Because I feel like once you go to college, you don't really hang out at the high school anymore.
But didn't Billy graduate early?
He did graduate early.
So that's the thing. So he's still going to hang out with the people that are still his friends.
Yeah, but why
so
doesn't
socially, I'll still be, I'll hang out with high schoolers. But as far as academically, well, there I am.
Yeah, but okay, so if he's not going to college, that's fine. But also, I don't think Zordon or Alpha 5, they don't give him paychecks. He's going to have to learn to live on his own, and I am a little concerned about his future.
Well, he will at some point. Okay. Right now, he's taking a brief... He graduated early, and it's not even summer yet. So the thing is, he's got all this time until everyone else finally graduates in the summer. And then when they finally graduate in the summer, he's still going to hang out with them then during the summer, right? And then his plans are like, all right, now I'll go to college, or maybe, hey, I'll take a summer abroad or a year abroad, and then
the
start.
newest iPhone.
Who knows? Yeah, create the newest iPhone, make a new ship. He can do anything. He's Billy.
That is true.
So I mean, it's possible. So maybe that's what's happening. I mean, don't poop on Billy. And Jason versus Tommy, we all will make the call. It's morphin' time. I like it. That's a good point. But
let us know your ratings out of 5.
Yes.
For, Mr. Billy's Wild Ride.
Yes, please.
What do you rate it?
And while you guys are giving us the ratings, we're going to give you just a little bit of tidbit behind the scenes.
Surprisingly, there are no errors in this episode.
Wow. I can probably think of some, but no, there are no errors in this episode. So that's pretty good. I can't think of any. I really can't. Actually, I like this episode. So, moving on from the notes. The events of this episode would be mentioned in Turbo's One Last Hope.
Okay.
So, we'll probably go back and think about it. Oh, man, yeah, Billy.
I'm sure the notes will come back there, too, where we can reference this episode and when Billy comes back.
I love it. And this episode's, here it is. This episode's title is a parody of the Disney park, the Disney Dark Ride. Mm-hmm. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
And Billy kind of did go through this wild ride of very cold, and if you ever rode that ride at Disneyland, it ends on a really fiery note. So it's a good thing that Billy did not burn up in the sun. I was super happy to see that.
That was good.
He got his juice, and I'm pretty sure Tommy paid for it like he was because he's a good leader.
Most likely. Tommy
or maybe Ernie was just like, you can take it for free. Nobody has to pay me ever.
No, we already know concerning Ernie and his...
I think that's probably why Tommy is so generous whenever it comes to something at the juice bar. I got it, guys. Because, we have this understanding with Ernie that we don't ever pay him any money.
We'll never pay Ernie. Ernie's definitely going to go into Chapter 11. So, here we go.
All right.
Now we're going to go into the ratings for the episode. Ratings for the episode so far, we have John Boy 777, who gives it a 4. Edward Sanchez Productions gives it a 4 out of 5. Jared Hodges gives it a 4. We have, Thomas Franco gives it a 4.5. We got Common Sentai 4. Larry Newbill 4. We got Blackwing 2040 gives it a 4.5 out of 5. Life and Death Situation plus the battle with the monster was epic with all the explosions. We have Robin Chan gives it a 4.5. We have Funny K Comics 5 out of 5 for Mr. Billy's Wild Ride, and of course we have Black Gamer Guy 17 who gives it a 4.5. We still got more. The Blur 1 out of 5. It wasn't interesting to me.
It was
I'm
a
interested
little slow
in-
because, like, the
I'm interested.
locations was only like 2, and then the tiny little monster at the
It
end.
felt like it was going to be a bottle
Yeah.
episode, and then boom, something
Yeah.
happened. Rose Ortiz gives it a 3.5 out of 5, and that's pretty. Oh no, Mikey Perez gives it a
King.
yes. He gives it a 3. Mr. Ray, I'm sorry, I almost skipped you. Gives it a solid 4, and plus already getting it popping with the best leader article.
Yes.
Ooh, bravo. And Anthony Davis, 65, gives it a 4.
So what is your rating for Mr. Billy's Wild Ride?
This episode of Mr. Billy's Wild Ride, even though first I was worried because it felt like it was going to be a bottle episode, it tended to expand in the end. And with that, we got very interesting portions or views on these characters.
Yeah.
For all that alone, I'm giving this episode a 4 out of 5. I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
say I
talking
hated
about
it.
it-
I kind of liked it.
Talking about it made me like this episode a lot more because I kind of thought, nobody wanted Billy back because no one was helping Tommy out. No one's
right.
really. So, I was a little worried. I just
True.
felt like, the team kind of failed Billy for a little bit, which made me
For
a
a
little
little bit.
bitter and resentful. But he
well.
made it back safely, and I'm glad they didn't stretch out this episode into a multi-parter of like Billy slowly coming back to Earth and these issues.
Oh,
so, you know
yes.
what? I
Thank
really
God.
like it. Talking about it, I'm going to give it a 4.
I love how on the radar, I just have to mention this, when they were like, oh, there he is on the radar. First it was going straight down, then it was going around. And I was like, wait,
Black hole
why is the
vortex.
ship going around like a bleep? And not just make no sense to me. I just didn't get it because it was like, beep, beep. And then it was like, and then Tommy said on screen, oh, there he is. And then it went, bing, bing. And I was like, wait, why is the ship going around like the bleep that was, I was so lost. It just made no sense. Yes. I was like, I don't know. I'm not Billy. I have no idea. So with that, we got our ratings. We know exactly how we felt about the episode, and we know how you guys felt. You guys have something to do, which is give us your opinions and send them over to ths@thathashtagshow.com and let
we will
us
get 'em
know
published.
exactly Jason or Tommy, who's better and why.
And we will pick the best of
Both
teams.
yeah, and we'll post them up, and then we'll let them fight out and let people figure out who is actually the best according to the articles.
Persuade
so
us.
if you guys love Jason, if you guys love Tommy, make sure you fight for him by just sending us in something. And also make sure that you also support us by wearing our shirts. Look cool, guys. Go somewhere and know that you are repping that hashtag show. The link is in the description below, but you can always know how good you're going to look because, hey, guys, I look good in a shirt.
Everyone
if
looks
I
good
look
in
good,
shirts.
Exactly. So why not go ahead and look good in a good shirt? That's all you need to do. You can pick any ones. We have Power Rangers tie-ins to, of course, Pokemon. Shout out to this lady right here. Which you're trying to wean yourself off.
I am.
Yeah.
The addiction is strong. And also, Black Gamer Guy, can we use comics, Jason? Hey, I say have at it. If you think and if that is the Jason that you're picking to lead the team, persuade us.
Yeah.
I would love to see that because I am just starting Go-Go Power Rangers, and I absolutely love that Jason. He is so
Oh my
complex.
God. He gets so much better too as you go on. Oh my God! Oh, and just wait. It's gonna be such a good conversation.
I'm
we're
so
gonna have.
excited.
We're gonna have really good convos.
It took me a long time
Oh,
to get
man.
into that comic.
Oh,
It
yeah?
just started,
Yeah.
but I started it this weekend, and I am addicted to the artwork and everything.
I was gonna
else.
say, how good is the artwork and the use
So
of color?
good.
The use of color is
So
amazing.
good.
Oh, sorry guys, we're going off and everything else, but we're still talking about Power Rangers.
We are.
But we will be discussing those actually.
And if
Maybe
you
we'll
want to
get
have
into
more
it.
discussions, go to THS Hashtaggers on Facebook.
That's
we
right.
can continue the conversation there, but we got to
Yeah.
wrap up because we are going to start Doctor Who at 7 o'clock in just a few minutes. So.
That's right. And also, we are doing something kind of new when it comes to our social media. We're doing the real life Bandersnatch. So kind of pay attention to our Instagram page where later tonight you'll be seeing, you'll be dictating what we do and a lot of things that happen as far as our fun and festivities tonight here at that hashtag show. So pay attention to our Instagram for that as well. Once again, I am Daniel and this is the lovely Elle. And we are here with Retro Power Rangers. And make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel to keep up to date with everything trending.
And geek pop culture.